Hello everybody and welcome to another Genshin Impact live stream. Has been doing so wonderful Monday. I hope you're having a great day and becoming better so you can watch my live stream. Okay. Another day of Genshin. Today we'll be clearing some weekly bosses. Because we are not getting anything new next patch. Weekly boss wise. We'll probably get one in 2 patches, I would imagine. Because next patch actually doesn't have any main stories. There will be a Lina story quest. And a bunch of world quests. Okay, let's start the Gamba. Will we get any billets? New week, off to temper thyself and journey far. Penultimate week for the next constellation they've been waiting for. Wait, that means I should not pull for Linnea when she releases. I should wait a week. Because I really want to avoid, you know, I've said this like a billion times, but I really want to avoid pulling Chichi. So that I can get the C6 from the selector. And then if I pull a Chichi, it will be C7. This way I save like, I get 4 pulls for free. On my next Chichi. Because like, I will get a Chichi eventually, right? It's not if I get, it's when I get a Chichi. I will have saved 4 pulls. And by pulling Lina when she releases, I risk getting Chichi'd. Which would be an absolute tragedy, even more so than it usually would. Yeah, so I'm not gonna pull Lina until a bit later. I would have to be a bit late on the Stygian, but not even by much. By like 3 days. I usually don't clear Dire day 1 anyways. Because Stygian will come out. So this week we get the penultimate reward on the track. This week we get the Sanctifying Essence on Friday. And then next Friday we get Chichi's Stella Fortuna. Stygian will come out next Wednesday. So yeah, I can just clear. Like, even assuming I would stream Genshin every day, which I'm probably not gonna do, I would just mostly farm artifacts on Wednesday, beat one boss on Thursday, and on Friday we already have Lina. Yeah, but I do need to change the plans a bit. Hello, boys.
物語は始まったばかりだよ。気をつけて。
One little creature took too much time to die. Oh, and this guy is a bit problematic actually. Maybe we can just like push him into water? Yeah, something like that. Thank you for your assistance. Would have been tough to deal with the shield with a pretty much mono pyro team. I mean, yeah, the Anemo would have helped a bit, but not that much. We want to do the dailies that aren't in Liyue Harbor first, so that we'll have a shorter distance to submit the dailies afterwards. I used to go here every day, because this was part of my artifact route. These spots here, and some up there. Good old times. This meant I always had ample giant chili seeds for my teapot. But not anymore. Oh yeah, there are some over there as well. Here we go. And yeah, these guys... Actually, whenever this daily appears... Let's actually start with Durin. Whenever this daily appears,
気をつけて
the artifact spots actually like
足元に気を
despawn.
つけて。はあ。
And you need to reload the area for the artifacts that would be here to appear. Because normally this is an artifact, this here is an artifact, and I think there's like one more bait spot somewhere. But yeah, daily quests being active can affect how mobs spawn as well. Some mob locations are disabled, some mob camps are disabled. When a daily quest is in progress nearby, which is unfortunate because I do love
運
it
命の変わり目気をつけて
when I can just stack a bunch of enemies. Ooh, Durin's, oh no, it does hit him. For a sec, Durin's burst was not hitting him, so I thought that his invisibility actually outplays Durin's burst. And it can target him, but then he's getting targeted again. Maybe he was too close to the wall or something. More chilies. Thank you very much. I love 1.0 areas. The vibe is like nothing else. The like silence, birds chirping, random group of bandits in the distance, weird ruins that never really get properly explained. Yeah, that's the Breath of the Wild I came here for. Oop. Okay, this should be the final daily now. I hope. Yeah, it is. I remember when I first played Genshin, you know, still just expecting anime Breath of the Wild. And the thing that amazed me the most was how big the cities were. Because one thing that Breath of the Wild doesn't really have is cities. There are some villages, but nothing you would really call a city. Actually, Valka would have definitely picked. Normally in a scene like this, the Traveler would appear in place of your playable character when Paimon pops up. It was weird that she was talking to Varka. Wait, I'm pretty sure that's a bug. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to see the Traveler there. Hello, dear hero? Strange. Okay, so let's spend the resin that will not go towards weekly bosses. Oh no, actually first daily rewards. Here. Hello, Fat. Ooh, the jump is the perfect height to get from the like main walkway here all the way to Catherine. Man, Varka would have been such a game changer back in 2020. Also, isn't this like what's up with this like these rocks in the middle of the road? It's kind of messed up. It would be kind of rough to walk here. Like these little stairs, okay, sure, but what are these? I guess they are supposed to also be like a single stair. The compass scan, here there is no way. I've scanned the surrounding area a lot already. Although every now and then they would do compass updates where the compass would detect more types of chests. So it's not impossible that a location that I have previously scanned would give me something new. You know what? Let's change the weapon skin. To the regular one. I like both versions, so yeah, let's change to the sick for now. And maybe we can change back later. We can change to the Stygian skin eventually as well. All options suit Varka perfectly. Okay, so resin. We have 130, so we can spend 40 and then one more condensed. And yeah, just artifacts, probably. Excuse me. Am I... Oh yeah, here we go. Game do be struggling. I hope that at least the stream is fine. Can we even bet 1 point? I'm pretty sure you can't bet 1 point. Isn't there a minimum amount? Oh shoot, you actually did bet 1 point. Sure. Oops.
ほらお静かに暗闇は怖いですか。
I hate that they made it so that the chickens, the first thing they do when they spawn is just scatter. They just every chicken runs in a separate direction to ungroup themselves as quickly as possible. And then they are CC immune while the shield is up. How do you get Verdant on Columbina in a Lunar Charge team? By attacking a Dendro Slime, for example. And this ain't it. Do I have Verdant right now? Oh yeah, I do.
目を閉じてほら。
I mean, I must have attacked a Dendro Slime in the past. I'm pretty sure when you change team, these actually stay, no? We can see actually in a second. And I never use up Verdant Dew. I never do the Columbina char attacks, I never play Nefer. So once I get them, they are just here. Let's see if I change my team. Something that doesn't even involve lunar stuff. Oh, they are gone. And if I change back to flames? I never play Nefer, yes. Oh yeah, the game remembers your Verdant Dew, apparently. Here we go. I unloaded. Columbina released her load. You no longer have to be annoyed by the little moons. Until we fight a Dendro Slime again. Okay, let's heal up. I can't start collecting artifacts just yet. Since my spots are still on cooldown. So in the meantime... I guess we could do some rhythm gaming right now. Then play until I'm too tired to play anymore. Then we can do other stuff, and I should have recovered by the time we are done with weekly bosses and stuff. The Hoyo professor would have known. Maybe he would. Let's do some Inazuman songs. Let's start with Duel in the Mist. It's best to start with harder songs and then play easier ones, because now my head is not yet exploding from looking at the notes yet. Oh my god, this is painful. Yeah, okay, we lost. Yeah, this is... I need to wait for the 120 FPS mode in Genshin until I can do Duel in the Mist on this difficulty. Oh, verde anime mia? Nasretto ma. Hello, gamer. $35,000 points have been spent. In the Gamba, of which one is Fats. Ah, I got one good at the very end. No! My god. Actually, I had two goods. Okay, maybe I got one good at the very beginning, I didn't even notice. That makes me feel a bit better. I've done it though! Interesting. I have no recollection of doing this with the difficulty modifiers. Let's do yeah. Ah. You would think it's over? Oh! Wanna get jump scared with more notes? Hello, Xnay. Good to see you again. Let's work right then. Wait, she has her own skin. Let's go! We actually got something done. I got jump scared by some notes in the second half. I thought I would miss something, but yeah, at this point I have good enough reflexes to react to this somehow. My brain couldn't keep up, but my hands did, so that's good. +1. Inazuma I probably already did the most. Actually, maybe not. I mean, I have 1, 2, 3. That's it, actually. Songs perfect with the modifiers. Do you have any in Fontaine? 1. Oh yeah. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutissime. Somehow this is the one. And not like a Linne or a Riodesley. In Sumeru I definitely did Collei. Also Gilded Runner. Collei. And Nahida. So also 3. In Inazuma we have 3 in Liwa, I might have 0? Oh no, we have Xiao. And Ganyu. And Hutao. Oh, that's 4. 5. Okay. So Liwa we probably did the most. 5 different ones. In Mondstadt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8! Oh my god, that's almost every single one of them actually. Huh. Yeah, I'm actually getting there. Natlan might be like 1. Or 0. Okay, that's 0. The other Natlan we have 1, 2, 3! The first 3 and probably that's it. No, 4. 5. Okay, 5 in the second Natlan album, that's pretty good. Then this miscellaneous collection. Yeah, this is probably the hardest one on average. We still have one though, Song of Innocence. I mean, this is one of the easiest songs in the game. In contrast with almost everything else here. We have Romari Time and Blazing Heart. Those are definitely some of the harder ones. And here I think I only have 1. On Flints, which I don't know how I got actually. Cause it's not the easiest song in the batch for sure. Okay, yeah. So we'll do weekly bosses now, and we can do some more random gaming later. Actually, let's say hi to Iluga while we are here.
忙しい。また報告書を整理して情報共有用の要約を届ける時期です。外で長年ワイルドハントを追っているオラビ分隊長、各地に駐在している隊長たち、それからフリンズさんにも届けないと。
Are you planning to deliver them yourself?
同僚たちも手伝ってくれますが、基本的には僕一人で走り回っています。これは人手不足の問題ではありません。ナイトキーパーになろうという人は自由で率直な方が多いんです。 僕のようなあちこち駆け回る人間がいなければ、しばらく見ない間に行方不明になっているかもしれません。それに、僕としても皆さんにたくさん会いたいですから、こういう機会はちょうどいいんです。
Not to not overspend, you only put half of what you own into. That's probably like a better way than going all in every time. Especially when very few people are voting. You will get a decent return even if you don't put that many points in. Because the gammas will often end up being pretty unbalanced. So just vote for whichever option has fewer votes. Or like less points on it. The number of votes doesn't really matter as much as how many points there are. Hello, GP Keep. Okay, so over to Mondstadt. To the unresolved chess game. Maybe one day we will finally resolve it once and for all. Man, this would not be a comfortable chess set to use. With this Giga Chonker King. Even the Queen will be... I mean, the Queen is fine, I guess, but the King is way too much of a chonker. The other pieces, I guess, are okay. It's clear enough who's who. I like the pawns. I just gotta make the king, like, reduce the size of the crown by like 30% and this will be a good chess set. Who's believing this hard? Tilted Hero. With 34,999 points on belief. 10k Xnay. And 1 point is fat. 1 singular point. And on the doubters side we have 20k from Addicted Gamer and 15k from Sayonara. What's this like needs more crit that you say every time, GP Keep? What is this? Is it like a reference to something? Some inside joke that I don't understand? What's up with the needs more crit? I'm not even hitting anything right now. Yeah. Couldn't quite finish it off, but good enough for our supports to take care of this. We will get energy for the second phase. My favorite cutscene. This makes up for the fact that Dottore, neither Dottore nor Yoksotov have any cutscenes. This one cutscene carries the entire boss run, boss rush. Oh no, Xnay, don't do this. Remember that 64% of the time there are no billets. I just spam N5 and I click my burst once I run out of energy, or usually after the first N5. I don't really pre-plan my combos on Skirk. Like I said, whenever there will be a Stygian hard enough for my C1 Skirk to need like more damage. If I'll be like, man, if I had 15% more damage, I would win here with Skerk, but I can't right now. I will actually start paying attention to the combos and probably do like the N2 dash combos. Maybe even the ones with the walk cancels. But for now, yeah, I just spam N5. Usually after the first N5 I use my burst, and then whenever I have like 2 stacks, I do a charge attack. With C1, you want to potentially even charge attack more often to make sure you consume all your rifts. Because whenever I consume a rift, I have 50% extra attack as damage to nearby opponents. So I want to make sure I don't let the rifts overcap. I do want to do a charge attack towards the end at the very least. Or whenever I have 3 rifts.
今の世界を熱狂の渦にお披露目だ。セピロスよ、我を守り、ガンのように羽ばたけ。平穏メッツやあこの手にはっはっはっ
Oh, no, we almost killed her. That's bad.
僕をたたえよ歌え僕の名も
No, don't kill the queen!
風神様の冷凍の時間よ目の下無にキスふんはっ
Okay, here we go. Nice. Was kinda chaotic. And if I do everything perfectly, I can kinda one cycle them. One rotation them. But it was good enough. Nobody died even. Okay, the first boss. No knights. No billets. But we did get a solvent! 223 dream solvents. Once I get like 300, I will feel pretty safe that I'm not gonna run out anytime soon. But you never know. Do I never use my solvents? No. I do use them sometimes, but only if I really need them. So a situation where I would use them is like new character comes out. Let's say Lina comes out, and I'm in Stygian. I'm using a team with Lina, Stygian, Ziba, Lina, Columbina, and I'm like, shoot, I need like 2% more damage to kill the boss. I'm already playing as well as I can. I need more damage right now, but I don't have the mats to level up Lina's skill, which would give me more damage. We can use a solvent now to get it. And by saving it for just the time when I need it, I make sure that I will have it when I need it. Because if I would just spam them willy-nilly, I might not actually have the solvents when I need them to clear a Stygian. Because, you know, like my Columbina, for example, still doesn't have her talents leveled fully. And the reason for that is my shortage of the Masks of Virtue's Doctor, right? I need 3 more of them. 1 more for the skill and 2 more for the burst. I already have enough books, I can craft 21. But I clear everything with her anyways, right? I cleared every Dire, and of course every Abyss and Theater, but Stygian Dire is way harder than the other one, so that's the only one that really matters. I cleared every Dire I threw her against. So there is no point in me leveling them up more for now, right? Especially because every solvent you use is kinda like 2 solvents used. You might be asking why? This makes no sense. But when I convert a mat, so like when a new boss comes out, you will just not really have any mats from that boss. Right, you get like 1 of each for free at the start, and then you like do the first run, you get like 2 randomly. And then if I were to convert everything I have into the masks, so that I could level up Columbina day 1, I would end up with no mats at all, right? All the restraints and elixirs, I converted to masks and I used them all on Columbina in like the 2nd or 3rd week or however quickly I could have. And now I will start collecting them from 0. And after a few weeks I will have like 5 of each maybe. And then a new character will come out and they will use a different mat, right? They will not use the same one that Columbina just used. They will use like the restraints. But now I'll use up all my restraints and I don't have enough of them because I converted all of my restraints into masks in the past. And now I have excess masks that I cannot use for anybody because the only character that used them I already fully maxed out. So now if I want to level up the new character that uses the Madman's restraints, I need to convert the masks back into restraints. You get what I mean? If you convert the mats, you will not have them later. It's not that just the solvent doesn't just become the material. I also need to use one of the other ones, and I will need them all eventually. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Should you count Columbina's burst? Yeah, probably. If you are not like Gigapoor on Mora, like if you are struggling and running out of Mora every week, maybe you shouldn't. But you've got a couple million in the bank. You are not really that worried that you won't have enough money to level up a new character. Then sure. Because it's a good ability. It's just leveling up talents is expensive. And yeah, this min-maxing mentality I have when it comes to the math efficiency ends up with me just not using any of them. But why would I use them if there is no point? Right? Like, why would I use them if I clear Dire anyways with talent level 9s on Columbina? It's similar with my Masterless Stella Fortunas, where I still have 7 of them, I haven't used a single one. And it's also kinda like, why would I use them? Ever since they introduced the Stella Fortuna, I have cleared every Dire. The only Dires I haven't cleared were before that introduction, like these. This was before Luna 1, right? My last Fearless clear. And then ever since they introduced the Stella Fortuna, I've cleared every Dire. So there is no point here as well in me using my Stella Fortuna. I will wait until one of these teams will actually struggle to clear. But I have a lot of room for improvement still, even like when it comes to gameplay. I played this first one horribly. Skerk, like I said, I still just spam N5. To max one character, you need 15 boss mats. Isn't it 18? For 3 talents? Triple crown? Unless you go like 8, 10, 10 or something? But like you need 1 each for levels 7 and 8, and then 2 each for levels 9 and 10. So it's 6 and then 12, it's 18. Okay, let's see how I will mess up my combo this time. And if you don't include the basic, then you subtract 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be 12. But I usually skip one skill? That's not necessarily true. Like, some do, some convert whenever you use your skill, your basics don't do anything, or you are just a support who doesn't even use their basics. But a bunch of characters actually use everything. Like my dear Kree, for example. But yeah, some characters only really use one ability. It's so weird. You would think they would try to balance the characters in such a way that the modifiers are spread out between the abilities. I'm not saying to just like change how strong the character is, just change how important it is to level different abilities. Like maybe some of the Bond of Life, like the base values should be here for Arlecchino's basics, but then this Mask of Red Death increase, that should be like on the skill, no? Instead of nothing being on the skill. Burst, sure, like it can be separate. It has the HP restoration and the damage from the burst itself. You just end up not really pressing it at all. But that's because it's like a defensive tool. That's fine. It's fine for a character's burst to just be a defensive tool that you are not meant to use during like an optimal combo. But the skill should definitely have some of the increases here. Yeah, like this is just the spike and cleave when you press the E, you hit an enemy. 200%, and then the Blood Dead Directive. I think this is a DOT, right? The Blood Dead Directive damage? Yeah, every 5 seconds. Ooh. Wait, max 2 times? After 2 ticks, it stops ticking? Wow, amazing. I mean, yeah, because that's when it upgrades fully. So this happens twice. This is like 80%. This is like 300%-ish damage. I mean, it is kind of like... Actually, if you look at the numbers itself, it's kind of like 3 basics. But the basics get increased by 2.5 times from the Mask of Red Death. Yeah. So it's more like 1 basic, maybe 2 basics. Oh, hello. I'm here. I even forgot. Nice, clean combo. Wait, I died? What killed me?
炎を灯した者がそれを御せなかったか。
Oh, I mean, skill didn't hit him. Oh, I hit him too quickly. Whatever. We got him. The donuts got there in the end. Another solvent! Today is a good day. When did I like, the Chronicled Wish? She still sells too well. Because the reason why they didn't include because like some things are obvious, right? Like no Archons in Chronicled Wishes, no Nuvillet. This makes sense. Same with the Constellation Picker, no Archons here. But then there are the things that make no sense. Like the exclusion of Kazuha and Alhaitham in here, or the exclusion of Riodesley in the Fontaine Chronicled Wish. I think it has to it needs to have something to do with some sales figures or something. Like according to the data we have, I think characters like Alhaitham and Riodesley didn't sell that well. Or like, you know, not insanely so, at the very least. But maybe the Hoyo data shows something else. Maybe there is a super dedicated community of Riodesley lovers who only top up on PC, so you can't track them on any of the trackers for like the console or mobile spendings. And whenever a Riodesley banner appears, some fangirls make 10,000 alt accounts and C6 Riodesley on every single one of them. Or something like that. I don't know. I feel like the fact that both Riodesley, all the characters, all the nonsensical character exclusions. So Kazuha and Alhaitham from the Constellation Picker, and Riodesley from the Fontaine Chronicled. All of them are male characters. There is something going on there. It's not a coincidence, I feel like. It's not like they don't put any male characters on these, but something about these male characters makes them more likely to not appear. We do have like Albedo, Tartaglia, Xiao, Itosu no Ayato, Baiju, Wanderer, like they are here. You would think Wanderer would also be missing if it was like fangirls or something. Wanderer has a lot of fangirls. Whenever Wanderer's birthday comes around, he gets like banners, like the ads bought out in China to just showcase happy birthday wishes for Wanderer. He's one of the most beloved characters in the entire game, for a good reason. I like Wanderer a lot as well. They really cooked with him, with his story. And he also himself had time to cook. It wasn't just a one and done thing. It was multiple years of build-up. Version after version. And also the fact that his his story is like an anime adaptation of the Bohemian Rhapsody is also kind of a big idea. I mean, Rodesli is not any better than Navia or Linne. Navia is probably the best character out of the Fontaine chronicled ones right now, with Linnea coming out. Just Columbina herself already was a big buff for Navia, and now Columbina Linnea, amazing duo. The true sky. Right here. Intriguing. Those indeed are stars. Oh, I took damage from the pillar falling on me.
三月よ輝け一致点絶縁衝撃安全距離確認9
お静かに夜ですね目を閉じて夜ですね
新月が来る流れて6308
ほらお静かに夜です
I don't need to care about fighting him anymore. He did eat my energy, which is a shame. Because when you break his rules, he eats all your energy, which will be annoying when I next bring out this team in the domain. But yeah, whatever. Maybe I should have listened. Maybe I should have listened and not faced the doctor. Hello, Sayonara. Just in time for the domain for the Gamba result, and indeed, not only did we not get any billets, we didn't get any masks. Columbina will be uncrowned for yet another week. Kinda crazy. I still have not got enough masks. It was the same with Skerk though. It was the same with Skerk, except with Skerk, I couldn't get any knights at the very beginning, so I couldn't even like level 8 my Skerk's abilities. With Columbina I did get a decent amount early on, but now just nothing. The tap has been closed. No more masks. Farming creepers in Genshin is such a good I actually kinda love it, you know? It's the kind of low-stake Gamba that I'm all about. I definitely prefer this than losing my 50-50s. Okay, I need to find some mobs and beat them up for energy. Because I'm not even gonna be able to use this team for artifact farming like this, with 0 energy on anybody. Actually, nobody except for Flins needs to burst in this team. Huh. Yeah, maybe energy is actually not needed. By the time I switch to Flins, I will have enough energy to burst anyways. Huh. I mean, let's beat up a horse anyways. Actually, it's a wolfie. Wait, that's the local legend wolf. Maybe we should not beat him up then. And I guess every other monster has gotten beaten up by the wolf himself. Huh? Oh, hello. Eat this. Scared by the local legend. And what if I am? I don't want to get beaten up and have to heal up. More fair? More like more boring. I did like the Notlanian ones. Some of the quests for them, some of the achievements, were a bit annoying. Avoid getting hit, or like, the worst ones are kill the enemy when it's doing X. Those are the absolute worst. But they still appear in Not Cry as well. Here we go. Let's actually not even burst with Flint, we just want energy. Here we go. Yep, rock. You have yet to earn all the achievements on the natural ones. They're pretty fun, especially the ones where you could only use the Traveler. The one where you had to counter the attacks. That was super fun. And there were some others with some like gimmicks where you couldn't really deal damage to it directly. You had to like use shields or something to redirect the damage. Something. I like those. They encouraged creative team building. Boink.
運命の変わり目終わってないの
Ouch. During this
逃げようなん
struggling
て思わないでよね
over here.
は
I like the venti empowered attacks while your burst is active are especially nice to pick off an enemy on the side who didn't get sacked by your burst. Actually super lovely for exploration utility as well. Pairing is fun, yeah. I did like it, especially for like a gimmicky mini boss thingy. I think I'd rather not have anything like that in the end game. If the enemy is gonna have like 50 million HP and I need to kill it in like a minute, and there are some attacks I need to parry or I lose. Yeah, probably leave that on in Zenless. But for an event or a little side boss like this, that's perfect. Didn't get sucked off by didn't get sucked in by Venti. No one should feel left out. Okay, so boss is done. I think it's still too early for artifacts, isn't it? Let's see. I guess I will like farm wood or something. Oh no, they are spawned in. But I'm not sure how long it took me to finish. I mean, actually, I can just check. I can check on my YouTube channel when did I finish farming artifacts yesterday. 1 view. Wow. My videos are so popular. 1 view. Streamed 1 day ago. Perfect. I knew that the YouTube multi-streams would boost my popularity by a lot. Oh yeah, so here you are farming artifacts. Okay, so around 1 hour 15 minute mark. So let's wait a bit. Let's wait the 15 minutes, and then we'll do this. We do the YouTube streams. I mean, all the effort to stream on YouTube has already been done. I don't really need to do anything extra for it right now. There is like a tiny bit of effort I need to put in every stream, because like I need to set up the title and everything on YouTube as well, and the thumbnails thingies. I mean, the thumbnails I've made once, but I need to like redo them I need to reapply them to the video every time. Yahoo! Compendium. Boosted drop rate for Ogre of Wonders, Lina. Yahoo! I love Lina. She's so like fluffy, her personality. And yeah, we did get the Lina. I did not expect Lina and Aino. This is Aino's like 3rd banner? Or 4th? This is her 3rd or 4th banner within a year. I don't think any other 4-star got rerun this quickly. This many times this quickly. In Genshin. And then Iluga's first rerun 2 patches later is also pretty impressive. And we have the Chaska. When I saw the Chaska banner, for a sec I was like, oh my god, it's so nice, weapon banner where I can get either Linnea Sig or the Chaska Sig for more movement speed, but then, wait, no, that's not how it works. It's not the Chaska Sig that gives movement speed, it's the Linnea Sig. So the Chaska Sig would actually be an L. I mean, it wouldn't be a complete L, because if I ever used her in endgame, I would just equip this bow and not the movement speed bow. So this wouldn't be a complete waste of a weapon to get, but I would prefer not to get it. I'm fine with just Linnea's bow. I would rather pull for refinements on that than for Chaska's Sig. Would also help in combat a bit. 400 Primo Gems. Alkion chapter. Whatever that means. Adventurers booster bundles. Those are so worthless. I once calculated like how much resin they are worth. Because you know, spending your Genesis crystals on books and Mora is kinda like refreshing resin to farm those domains and ley lines. And it's worse than even refreshing the resin like 10 times daily or however much is the limit. It's worse than max refreshing every day. So only if you max refresh your resin every day and you still feel like you need more materials and you still feel like you have too much money, then you can buy them. But otherwise, never buy them if you can still refresh your resin. I'm sure nobody was even tempted by this. They are so terrible that you don't need math to know that this is garbage. Scaled Edge Season. Oh yeah, the dragon stuff. These are cute. Hello, Sid. Do the fox necessarily have human ears? I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure we could see some NPCs that didn't have much hair on the side of their head and they didn't have any ears. So they don't have 2 pairs of ears, as far as I can tell. Is that 4-star bow good? It's fine for Chaska. Flower rift feathers. It's okay. Yeah, if you pull for Chaska Sig and you end up with like 3 or 4 copies of this, I guess it's like fine. But if you have Chaska and you want to make her stronger, just pull cons. Just pull C2 and play like a random crit stick on her. The cons are better than the weapon. Finally done with exams. Congrats. Do we not have no event announcement for the Fontaine Chronicled Wish? I mean, we know what the Fontaine Chronicled Wish will be because they've shown it already. But it's weird that it's not here in this event tab yet. C2 Chaska, here I go. I'm not telling you to go and pull C2 Chaska just because you own her, but if you want to pull more for your Chaska, then cons over weapons, yeah. I mean, there is this internet meme of like jobs being something evil and people like censor the word job, but having a job is so much better than studying, man. Studying was the worst. We should censor like school or university or college. Those are the words that trigger me. Having a job is fine. Like finding a job, that can be painful, but having a job, it's great. Hello, Frisky Disc. Going for an plastic if you can, but you already have Chaska's Sig. Yeah, losing the Chaska's Sig is kinda meh. So losing the 37.5% to it would be unlucky. But yeah, I'm also probably gonna go Linnea plus Sig. For Linnea, her C1 is kinda garbage. C2 is great, but that's a lot of investment. And like, no weapon really does much for Linnea outside of Sig. I haven't finished copying my markers. I mean, it's better if you, because like, just looking at where I've placed my markers and copying them wouldn't give you much like intel. Because like every artifact spot I go to belongs to one of the markers, the star markers that I have placed, but I have them named as to how many spots there are on each marker. And like some markers are like 5 spots, or here I have separate markers for like 1 spot, 5 spots. But then I have this marker for 21 spots. So just having a marker down wouldn't give you much intel as to what this actually means. This is just how I decided to group it up so that I wouldn't have too many markers spammed all over Easy Breeze Market. And like I do remember where I need to go. Or for example, over in like Natlan, I have a marker over here, but the artifacts actually, I first go, I think I jump down here, grab some artifact spots, and then I run here. But once again, I decided to not do another marker, I just did one here. And there are like 3 here and 5 here. But I just did one marker with 8. So yeah, the markers are just my own system. And I don't think it would be that valuable. This should be a flower, not a star. Stars are for artifacts, flowers are for fluff. Yeah, just copying my markers wouldn't be that valuable for anybody else, I feel like. Sack? Nah, Sack is garbage. If you don't get Sig, you just slap a slingshot on her. Oops, Varka's having a good time apparently. Yeah, if you don't get Sig, and you don't have like any... Because if you have some 5-star stat sticks, if you have like an Aqua Simulacra or something, you can slap it on her, but if you don't have anything, you play Slingshot. Because once you max it out, it's like 31 crit rate. Sack is absolute garbage, gives you 0 stat, 0 utility, 0... This is not a weapon, right? If you want to play Sack, might as well play a Hunter's Bow, it's the same. But Slingshot, 31 crit rate. C1R1 Escoffier, 0 free and C1 doesn't clear Dire. Must be some gameplay issue, because this Dire is super easy with Skirk. I did it like first try. Maybe second try. First try I died actually. Yeah, first try I died, second try I killed the boss. When I just didn't die. Because this is the... Because I'm assuming you mean the Skirk shield boss, right? The automaton? It's the easiest boss for Skirk. Skirk is amazing for the overworld. Her skill is permanent. Double big E. Why do you need a double big E? Also, in order to get a double big E, it's way more annoying than you think it is. Because the initial hit from... How is he called again? Lumi. The initial hit from Lumi actually doesn't proc the sack immediately. Because the skill cooldown only starts after he slaps. So what you need to do for sack to proc, you would hold your skill, right? You like hold your skill, Lumi attacks, and then you need to wait like 4 seconds for Lumi to do an attack, and then it will refresh. You need to sit there on Lina for 4 seconds doing nothing, and you can't switch out. Or like, you can switch out and then like switch back in 3 seconds later, but that's also like pretty tight. It's so not worth it. And yeah, like, it's worthless. Can I explain Lina Kit from scratch? You press E, and you are done. That's actually it, you know? It's kinda like Escoffier, but you don't need to burst. You only press E. You press E and you summon a little guy. The little guy shreds Geo, buffs your team, deals damage to enemies. That's really all you need to know. There is an option when instead of tapping E when you switch in, you can like continuously tap it. So it's kind of like a hold skill, but instead of holding, you need to tap continuously. And then you kind of feed the guy, and then he does a big attack. But then he's like weaker afterwards. So he doesn't... Normally if you just tap E, he will do strong attacks every couple seconds. But if you hold your E, he will do one big attack, and then he's kind of like a very tired, and he can't really attack anymore. He will just like poke the enemy for 1 damage to proc your artifact sets. That's all he does if you hold your E. So if you tap your E, like multi-tap. So... Wait. Is this? This is a chest. And I think it's a furniture chest, actually. Where was I? So you just 95% of the time you just tap your E. Don't bother with sack, don't bother with ER, don't bother with tapping the E. Just, or like multi-tapping the E. You just switch in, you press E, you switch out. Is she strong by herself with Columbina? Yeah, it won't be as strong as Binafa probably, but still can be a pretty strong duo. You just kinda, it's not as self-sufficient of a duo.
申請
When you play Linnea, you still want good geo application in your team. Because for Lunar Charged, it doesn't matter how much Hydro and Electro application you have, because it can only proc every like 2 seconds or something, right? But for Lunar Crystallize, the speed of your geo application actually matters. And then, because it matters how much geo you apply, it also matters how much hydro you apply, because you need to first apply hydro, then geo. If you apply too much geo, hydro is gone, you cannot react anymore. So, when you have Lina Columbina, you ideally want to pair them with characters who have good geo application. Like Navia or Noel. Just slapping them on a like Hutao or Xiao team or whatever won't be as good, because those characters won't really help the reaction at all. And the reaction won't be as strong by itself as Lunar Charge is.
酒が入ってたら一杯分けてくれ。
There is more. Didn't this have some sort of feature that showed all the chests? How do I get up there as well? I guess I just need to TP. You have a guarantee and currently at 4 PT and 45 plus save, so Lina or Chaska. You could also just save. Like if you have Z-Buy, then Lina for sure. If you don't have Z-Buy, you can pull Lina if you really like her. But it won't be like incredible. She will be strong, but not incredible without Z-Buy. Chaska, unless you want her for exploration, probably also a skip. Amazing for exploration though, best character in the game for exploration. Ouch. I kinda knew this would happen.
俺にもついにこの日が来たか。
So you could just like save for Nicole or something as well, that's an option. I mean, if you have the buy, you probably should pull for Lina. You won't need her right now, but eventually they will make content hard enough where Zibai will need Lina, especially if it's not shield towards Zibai. Does he not cry? But wasn't there anything in the resort that was similar? I really think there was, but maybe I'm tripping. Oh, so you have Columbina, but you don't have anybody else from Not Cry? Yeah, then pulling literally anybody, which includes Linnea, would be pretty huge. Huh. That sure is a chest. Okay, nothing anymore. Oh, it just been Lunar Crystallized, so you do have other Lunar teams. I mean, if you have other Lunar teams, then you don't need... Having more than one Lunar team doesn't provide that much value. Ah, let's just make it blue. And now we can use the E to go up. So this is kinda like what I was... When I was wondering how do I go up, this is how I go up. Here we go. We can just play Goro instead of Iluga. I don't have C6 Iluga either, and I don't really care about that. Iluga is only a Z-Buy support. Don't even think about using him with anybody who's not named Z-Buy. He is a worthless piece of garbage in any team that does not have Z-Buy in it. So if you don't have Z-Buy, not having C6 Iluga is not a shame. It's irrelevant. Because he's not a Lunar Crystallized support. He's a Z-Buy support, exclusively. He will not work in your Navia Lunar Crystallized team or your Ito Lunar Crystallized team. Doesn't the Gecko boss need Lunar Crystallized? He does need Geo. Or like, he does want Geo, ideally. He needs a way to destroy a Geo shield, which can be Overload or just blunt attacks, like Klee's Bombs or a Claymore. But specifically for the Stygian one, he will take more damage if you destroy the shield with Geo. But it doesn't have to be Lunar Crystallized, it's just Lunar Crystallized is the strongest form of Geo damage we have right now. But it's just, you know, it's the most recent character, so it's the strongest against the most recent boss. Who would have guessed? Oh my, isn't there a fav on the banner? Because when it comes to weapon banners, the only thing that really matters is how many favs there are. Oh no, there aren't any. Oh yeah, this is 0 out of 10. Yeah, it is 0 out of 10 for 4 stars. 4 absolute pieces of garbage. I mean, the Flower of Rift Feathers is also a piece of garbage, to be honest. Yeah. Sack Greatsword is the only one that has any utility here. And I guess like the Dragon's Bane is okay for as an EM stick for Bloom Raiden, but Hyper Bloom isn't what it was 3 years ago. So yeah, not really that relevant. And then Sack Greatsword is good if you want to have shorter rotations in your Diha team. Because Diha's kill cooldown is like 20 seconds. So if you want to have 15 seconds rotations with Diha in your team, you need Sack to refresh the cooldown. But that's also pretty niche nowadays. Having it R3 in inventory is just annoying. What is Lina bow stats and passive? I mean, it's kinda irrelevant. It's just a strong bow for Lina. If you pull her and you feel like you want more, you pull the weapon. Otherwise, you just play a 3-star. But yeah, it gives Lunar Crystallized damage. And crit. And some defense. So 88 crit damage, 16 defense. And then Lina gets 40% Geo damage bonus. And 40% Lunar Crystallized bonus. And then your team gets 20% each instead. So yeah, it's just a good bow for Lina. And it's for nobody else. What are the builds gonna be like? Defense, crit. She does not care about ER. She doesn't really love EM either. It's okay, but not amazing. And you probably want to go for Obeid. If nobody else in your team has the Silken Moon set, if nobody else in your Linnea team can play Silken Moon Serenade, then you slap it on her, because somebody in your not Clay team needs this. But yeah, if this is on somebody else, which it should be on some like less impactful character, somebody who doesn't deal as much damage, gets the Silken. Then your Lina gets Obeid. You play defense, crit, and for substats you go for defense and crit, right, and damage. EM is kinda meh, ER is irrelevant because her burst only heals. There is not even an attack on the burst. It's not like Escoffier, where Escoffier deals some damage, there is like skill damage and then heal. No. It's more like Barbara burst, where it's just heal, and that's it, right? So you don't press the burst unless you are dying. And ideally you should not be dying every rotation. So you just press the burst when you need it. And you will get it by like every 2 or 3 rotations even with no ER. What are other options on her for the bow? Anything with crit, because there is no passive, there is no bow with any meaningful passive for her. So you just pick whatever gives you the most crit on the substat, right? So if you have some 5 stars lying around, you've got an Aqua Simulacra and you haven't played your Yalan for 2 years, you can slap that on her, that's 88 crit damage, that's good. First grade magic is also 66 crit damage. Yeah, sure, that's a weapon that exists. But like the baseline where if you don't have anything, any 5 star or anything, you play a slingshot because this is 31 crit rate. There is a passive where like you gain damage if the shots fire quickly, but like you don't even attack with your charge attacks or normal attacks, you only use your skill. So all you care about is the 31 crit rate it provides. You have an extra first grade magic, then refine it. What are you doing? Refine your first grade magic and play a 3 star only now, that's much better. Some 5 star bows are actually worse than Slingshot. Like Daybreak Chronicles is worse than Slingshot. Because it gives you less crit. And the passive is pretty irrelevant. You don't even proc it properly. So it's not any 5 star, right? It's 5 stars that give you more than 62 crit value. I mean, that's why it's good. For any character that actually cares about base attack, Slingshot is not a good weapon. So it's not a bonus, it's like a precondition. Yeah, Aqua only now is like the best. It's probably like the second best weapon you can play on her. High crit damage, low base attack. And I mean, damage bonus doesn't matter, right? The damage bonus is kinda irrelevant, but the 88 crit damage from the substat is. Okay, I probably can start farming artifacts by now. Yeah, it's been enough time. You won Temple for Charlotte and got Charlotte plus Escoffier, very nice. Do you already have Escoffier? Is it C1 or is it your first one? Both will be great. Both a first Escoffier or a C1, C0 now. Even if you do not own Skirk, she's just a pretty good, like she's just a good cryo support. Of course any cryo carry can be played with her, but even outside of cryo teams, or like outside of cryo carry teams, she has some of the best cryo application of field in the game while having decent damage and healing. So she's actually a perfectly fine option in melt teams even. You can play like a Melt Arlecchino, where you put both Citlali and Escoffier. Or if you don't have Citlali, just even Escoffier only can be okay. But yeah, usually Escoffier would be like the second cryo for extra application to make it so that your carries with faster pyro up can melt everything. And also there is more room for error. Because if you're just playing Citlali, if you're playing one cryo character, with like Mavuika, and you mess up your pyro up once, you apply too much pyro, the whole rotation is now cooked. You cannot get enough cryo now back, because you need to stop attacking for like 4 seconds to actually get a cryo aura again on the enemy. It's not worth it. So either you accept the huge damage loss or you reset the stage. But if you have 2 sources of cryo, if both of them hit at the same time, they can get rid of a pyro aura and then reapply new cryo. So a messed up rotation is still salvageable with 2 cryo characters. It's great especially for Arlecchino. Because she has faster pyro up than Mavuika. I guess maybe the faster Mavuika combos have more pyro up. But Mavuika needs more. Mavuika benefits more from her personalized supports that also provide her with fighting spirit. Arlecchino is more free to play whoever she wants, like an Escoffier. She is also good for hydro carries, like Nubilat. Because as we all know, Water can take any shape, and Nuvilet can be played
時間が
in any team. Nuvilet can be played with any support, and he works super well still. You can have the classic Hyper Nuvilet with just Furina buffing him up. You can play Cryo Nuvilet with Escoffier. You can play Bloom Nuvilet with... Lunar Bloom Nuvilet with... Lauma. You can play Lunar Charged Nuvilet with Inefa. Lunar Crystallized Nuvilet will also be perfectly fine. With some extra off-field Geo up. And you make sure you have enough Hydro by playing Nuvilet. You can play Nuvilet as a Hydro applier for your Vape Durin. And just use Durin in a Nuvilet team just for the shred. Actually, Durin cannot shred Pyro. Yeah, so that's a bit unfortunate. I will finish this little section of my artifact route and then we'll check the Escoffier. Don't want to do this in the middle, because I will forget where I was going. Right. I can... It's so unnatural for me to turn right when going out of this house.
風が立つぞ
So I need to like force myself. As I walk out of the house, I need to be like, okay, now you go right. Otherwise I like pause and look around. None of these characters are Escoffier. Do you have her in your showcase? Or did she just not refresh, or did you not put her in? Oh, speaking of showcase, I think I wanted to put my Varka in my showcase. Who do we ditch? Who gets the boot? Maybe Zibai. She's like the freshest member here. See ya. I mean, like 3 minutes ago. What helps is to like reload. You can like click here, quit game, and then launch the game or like log in again. This causes it to refresh instantly. Maybe reload. Maybe going into Miliastra and out could also reload it immediately. Because coming back from Miliastra is kind of like relogging. So maybe that would work as well. Wouldn't need to quit. Fontaine. Okay, now she's here. Okay, so level 88 for now, yeah. Level 90 eventually will be useful. Her damage is decent. And yeah, talent level is 8-8. Most of her power is just in her passives, all the insane shred she provides. But yeah, the damage from E, actually fairly meaningful, especially if you build her for Golden Troop. And then the burst, it's mostly the healing, but there is also a hit, like yeah, around 1000%. It's also a useful ability to get. Skyward Spine, ain't it? If you don't have Seek, just play Fav. She has very high energy requirements, so playing any weapon that's not Fav will cause you to lose more damage by having to play more ER in your artifacts. And also Fav additionally helps the rest of your team, helps your Furina, helps your Shenhe or Citlali or whoever. Does not help Skerg, but yeah, helps everybody else. And especially Escoffier herself, like I said, she is usually the most energy hungry member of your team. Especially if you want to have some decent damage on her and not just build 250 ER. And bursting on her every rotation is pretty important to provide healing for extra fanfare from Furina. So it's not just like, yeah, oh, it's just healing, you don't need it. If you play her without Furina ever, her burst does become, it's just healing, you don't need it kind of thing, so then you can just play 0 ER full damage. But in Furina teams you kinda need it. So yeah, did this Skyward Spine, just play Fav. Fav the GOAT. And even with the Fav, I mean, you probably still will want to continue playing the ER Suns. Because even with Fav, her energy requirements can still be pretty high. You could just have ER subs all over the place and then attack Suns, but it's kind of like the same thing in the end. Whether you have attack subs and ER Suns or attack Suns with ER subs, So this is fine. Just having one ER piece and then the other, everything else is loaded with crit and attack. Ideally, you would have crit attack and ER on like your flower feather goblet. But yeah, I mean, those pieces are okay. Not incredible though. Especially this offset feather. Like, bro, there is no way the best feather you have on your account is a 3-liner with a flat HP roll. Like, there has to be one with double crit attack ER. No? Or at least, like, double crit that rolled into crit more than 3 times? You need... there must be something, right? I would hope. Because every now and then you will get, like, banger feathers on, like, a support set or something. Maiden's Beloved double crit feathers. So it's hard to believe this is the best you have on your account, unless other characters play offsets as well. Not really. Yeah, 77 crit rate, you will get Cryo Resonance with Escoffier, almost always. So this will be 92. Crit rate 159 crit damage, that's fine. And your 88 ER when you get the Fav will be good. And yeah, Cryo Damage Golden Troop. If you have Esco with like Sack Sword, and especially if you don't want to spend all the Mora required to crown her skill, it might just be better to even go full supportive. Like, you could play Scroll on her. the Nutland Scroll set, or maybe you play like Tenacity Escoffier and then Scroll Furina or something. Essentially, or like, I mean, depends on what kind of team you play her in. If you're gonna play her in some wheelchairish comps or whatever, just Escoffier Furina and then whatever DPS from 2.0, then yeah, you want to build Escoffier for damage. Her damage will be significant. But if you ever pull for Skerk, or maybe some future cryo carries we get in Snezhnaya, the damage output of the carry is so much higher than that of your supports that it can be worth it to just sacrifice all their personal damage, or almost all of it, to just buff your carry by like 10% damage bonus, or whatever. So for a non-Sig talent level 8 Escoffier, it could be better to just go Tenacity, and then your Furina would be playing Scroll, or the other way around. Even though the sets don't give you that much, it's better than... like 20% attack on your Skerk could be better than 70% skill damage on your Escoffier. But like I said, if you don't have Skerk, that's kinda irrelevant. Golden Troop is the way to go then for sure. Because if you play her with like Nubilet, her damage will be more significant. Nubilet's damage won't be that high compared to the rest of the team's output. Compared to Furina and Esco. We have one at level 12, but no more to level up, okay. My Mora situation has been pretty stable recently, actually. Thanks to the fact that I cannot crown my Columbina skills, my Columbina talents, at least it means I can't spend Mora on them either. So that's good. Because I was already under 20 million. I mean, I know like you will look at this and be like, whew, but you've got like 20 million, I've got like 20 Mora. And like, yeah, I am still pretty rich, but when I had 45 million in the past and now I have 21, that's kind of like the, oh, gotta be careful sign, you know? So I was already under 19, but I managed to climb up to 21. So I'm happy about that. Changing my expeditions for more Mora. Now all but one of my expeditions. One is for rocks, so that I get the like daily BP task, mine items, and then everything else is for Mora. And this actually matters quite a lot. It's not much per expedition, but when you add up all of them, and the extra rewards you get from putting specific characters on the expeditions, and then it happens every single day, it does add up. It's actually a pretty nice chunk of Mora. Is Sasuke good? Siduraska is good. And even a lower Konchaska can be fine against the non-land shield bosses. Stuff like the automaton, not the Skerk one, but the other one, the older one with the 2 pillars, or the Papilla, the tree guy. She's good against those. She has fast Nightfall application, actually some of the fastest. But if you want to play her in versus more general content, you probably do want some cons on her, because her C1 and C2 are some of the most powerful ones in the game. She does have good synergy with various wheelchair cores, so you can just play her with Binefa and she will actually be perfectly fine. Now the issue is that it's not really Chaska doing the work, but she does have good synergy with them. You can even play, like in teams like this, if you're playing Chaska with Binefa, you want to play Vivi on her, not the Natlan crit set, you just play Vivi. You still want crit substats on your Vivi set, but yeah, you play Vivi to swirl for the girls, and she's kind of like a glorified Sucrose. No EM buff, but some personal damage at that point. If you're fine with that, then yeah, she would actually do well against most bosses in the game. When she's just a VV bot for somebody in the back. But yeah, usually Sucrose will do her job but better, because the EM buff is more valuable than personal damage. With supports like Columbina and Inefa. After Atlan, I go to Inazuma. That's what I was struggling to figure out. If you get some cons for Chaska, then she does become a formidable DPS herself. But the biggest thing about Chaska cons is the speed. Even though I don't really use Chaska in endgame, even versus the Natlan bosses next patch, because we are getting a Natlan boss specifically for Chaska to shine, right? I'm just gonna play Kinich over there. Kinich is my go-to Natlan DPS. I play Mavuika if I need to, for the damage output, because she's Mavuika. But if I can actually choose which Natlan carry I play, Kinich every time. And I will not play Chaska in Stygian probably ever. But I still play Chaska every single day. More so than almost every other character. Because she's right here. And she flies very fast. And C1 makes it so that she can fly for longer. So is Chaska good? Yeah. Just not really in endgame. She's the overworld queen, though. So I definitely do not regret my my C1 Chaska and the first Great Magic for extra 7% movement speed. Some of the better pulls, actually. Especially if you are like struggling with Mora, and you cannot get better gear on your characters because you don't have the artifact EXP or Mora to level up your artifacts, then pulling a Chaska con so that you can gather artifacts more efficiently can lead to a DPS increase, like all across the board for all your characters. Because now you can gather resources faster and you can actually level up artifacts properly. That's a very roundabout way of thinking. But I do feel like pulling for more than just endgame is actually pretty worth it. You can get all Primogem rewards in Stygian, free to play by just co-oping. The only thing you miss out on is one Dust of Refinement. You get 2 dusts and all the Primogems for free. And Abyss is pretty easy, Chaska will do perfectly fine there. And Theater is more of a character count check, so you want more different characters. You don't really need like strong characters for Theater. Like my unit reviews over other people's, most people just say, oh cool, good, but you say how to improve or where to use or even other ways to use them. Thank you very much. I do. This was always my goal with my character reviews. Back in the day, for example, a lot of whales would like pull up with character reviews, and usually when you see like a C6, it's like, oh yeah, no matter what you play, it's good, yeah, goodbye. But I would still try to give pointers on how to upgrade them even further. Because if you care about a character enough to C6 them, you probably care about them enough to min-max their build as well, even if you don't need to do that. And also this is why, so like the fact that I do these more in-depth reviews is also why I haven't really liked doing reviews in Star Rail or Zenless that much recently. Because I'm just not as in touch with the meta, maybe you could say, or whatever in those games. I don't feel comfortable giving people advice on how to play their Yixing Wang or something. I really can't play her myself. I know how to like what to build on her, but it's just like, yeah, play her set and crit attack damage bonus. Wowee. You probably could tell that much yourself. I can't really give any pointers on how to like play the characters or whatever. Can just barely get there in the end game and call it a day. Genshin is the one game where I still care about like every character coming out and not just like every third one. Sumeru. But still, for the characters that I do play often, and that I do care about in Zenless and Star Rail, I do know how to play them, what are the different team options and builds and stuff and whatever. But then there will be the characters that I skip, or that I get but don't really care much about. Genshin I do try. Even if there are characters that interest me less, like let's say Nefer, I will still play her a bit and try to understand what she's all about. Give her a fair chance. It's not like I never intended on, like, it's not like I looked at Nefer and was like, yeah, I'm never gonna play this. I did play her a bit, and then I decided that I'm never gonna play it again. I was never Nefer's biggest fan of her design. It's not like I don't think Nefer's design is bad, it's just not my type. Alright? And then her gameplay is not my type either. Hello Wilson. Welcome back. And what's the OMG about? GP Keep. You can just type OMG. And that's it. But I've been keeping you busy and also Enfield. For me, my non-Hoyo obsession lately has been Pokemon. I've really enjoyed replaying Soul Silver. I've done a big mistake of erasing my save files in some of my Pokemon games, like Soul Silver and White. I definitely regret erasing those save files, but at the very least, now I have a blank slate I can start playing on. Because I erased my save files because I wanted to start a Nuzlocke and then I would play for 2 hours and get bored because Nuzlocks kinda suck. At least I don't like them. But now I have those like 2-hour-old save files that I definitely do not mind deleting and restarting an actual playthrough. Have I reached Kanto? Yes. Right now I was actually busy training my Shroomish. Got myself a shiny Shroomish to have a Spore for legendaries that I will be catching later. And I'm in the process of EV training him. First I had to do some Battle Frontier for the power items. And oh my god, does it suck when you miss cross chop 3 times in a row and then you lose to a freaking cloister. I did RNG manip for the Shroomish. I've really enjoyed doing RNG manips in Soul Silver. I got myself a trainer ID that activates the cute charm glitch, which means that if I have a cute charm mon in the lead of my party, 20% of the mons I see are shiny. But the Shroomish was actually not from the cute charm. I wanted a male Shroomish, but the cute charm glitch only allows for me to get female shinies. So for the Shroomish I did a separate manip. Also all the genderless mons and legendaries I need to do separately as well. I just finished Leaf Green. Leaf Green is what caused me to get back into Pokemon as well. I bought Leaf Green on my Switch, played through it, and then as I was playing through Leaf Green, I got a bunch of YouTube recommendations about Leaf Green RNG manips, because it's like a fresh topic now that Leaf Green has been re-released. And
次
I don't like RNG manips in Leaf Green do seem like they kinda suck. Gen 3 RNG is rough, but Gen 4 RNG is way more accessible. So I dug up my copy of Soul Silver and been playing there. And man, I love Soul Silver, such a good game. You'll be back in Genshin for Dawn on Pro. That's in 2 days actually. How do you do that? When it comes to the RNG manips in Pokemon, essentially what you do is you set your console time, or like in Gen 4 at the very least, right? In Gen 3 it's different, but in Gen 4 and 5, I mean Gen 5 is a bit more complicated with the setup. Gen 4 probably has some of the simplest RNG manips. You set your console time to a specific date. Like first you use a program to find the mon you are looking for, like what exactly do you need to do, when to set the time to get like a shiny legendary or whatever. It spits out all the numbers you need. Then you set your console time to a specific value. As you set the time, you start a timer. There are special timer websites that will count down for you after you set the time, and then you need to load into the game at a specific timer, load your save file at a specific time, and then if you did everything correctly, the mon you want appears. You might need to do some extra stuff in game as well, but no point in me explaining this too much. That's what the RNG manips are about. You arranged a 5IV Timid Shiny Latios, very nice. I have a 5IV Shiny Lugia, but it's actually the imperfect one is HP. I don't care that much for fully perfect IVs, because once I move these mons, I do plan on moving all my mons from this game all the way to home. So by the time they get to Pokemon Champions, IVs aren't even a thing anymore in Champions. Every IV is maxed by default. You can't even lower them or anything. So yeah. I do try to get a good nature and good IVs if I can, but if I don't see any like perfect IVs in a reasonable like time window, I just settle for what's the best. And yeah, 30 and 31, also 0 and 1 are the same for level 50 formats. But yeah, in Champions, it's there is no difference between 0 and 31, or anything in between. I might need a haircut soon. Yeah, probably. It's pretty wide right now. You have 3 Manaphy eggs. The shininess, or like the eggs are a bit complicated, but it's already set when you receive the egg, essentially. You can't do much. You could... So like the way shininess in Pokemon works is that Pokemon have their own ID, which gets checked against your trainer ID and your trainer's secret ID to determine whether the mon should be shiny. So if you like manipulated yourself an ID that would allow for these eggs to be shiny when hatched, you could trade the eggs over to that save file, hatch them there, and maybe they could be shiny. If the egg can even be shiny, I'm not sure about the Manaphy eggs. They probably can though. So you can't do anything about the egg, but you could do something about your trainer. But yeah, you need to look up Manaphy eggs, shiny Manips stuff, because I've never had a Manaphy egg. I mean, everything from 0 to 30 has been snapped. 31 is the only IV left. So your gyro balls will be weaker now. That's the one like relevant thing. Some people also talk about Trick Room, how it might be like hurt by that, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Like hard Trick Room might be worse, but Trick Room itself will still be great in VGC. It won't get any weaker there. Hard Trick Room is actually more uncommon than just playing Trick Room in a team of regular mons. Yeah, this Soul Silver playthrough I'm doing is my first time doing RNG manips at all. So the biggest RNG manips I've done was Just the cute charm glitch. The Lugia was cool as well. I didn't have any way to advance my frames, so I had to look for a frame to Lugia. But I did find an almost perfect one. I would have settled for any IVs, but I found a Bold Nature Lugia with 24 in HP and 31 everywhere else. Kind of incredible, actually. You can get Jirachi in Gen 3 from Pokemon XD, no? Or is it XD? Or maybe Colosseum, or maybe something else? From one of the GameCube games you can get a Jirachi in Gen 3, and I think it can be shiny. It also depends on the region. Holo bonuses for Americans and Pokemon Channel for EU, okay. My first home console I ever had was a Wii, so never got to play any of those games back in the day, and even then my Wii was scuffed. Long story, but my Wii was not functioning perfectly and it broke pretty quickly as well. But that's what you get for buying a used console, even though a new one would be almost as cheap and actually would work perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm done with the artifacts. Oh yeah, I do need to take a look into my teapot. So for now I'm still playing Soul Silver. Even right after the stream is over, I will go back to EV training my Shroomish afterwards. Either I will get all the badges, or I might go for a shiny Suicune. Either one. Or actually wait, do you need all the Kanto badges to even get Suicune? I think you can get Suicune earlier, no? Whatever. And after I will be done with Soul Silver, eventually, which will probably take me a couple more weeks, I will move over to White 2. White 2 is actually not a game I played in the past. But I did buy myself. There's actually a Japanese copy of White 2, because it was pretty cheap. The European copies were like $200. This one was for like 20. So I got the Japanese one. I do know Japanese well enough to play. It will be annoying, but will also be a learning process. I've already played Pokemon games in Japanese, the Switch ones. So yeah, maybe it's for the best. Not like you're gonna spend hundreds of pounds for just a copy of Colosseum, you're just gonna order both right now. You can play Pokemon Colosseum and XD. If you just want to play them, you can play them if you have Nintendo Switch Online on the Switch right now. I think only XD for now actually. Colosseum will come later. But they don't have any they don't have any connectivity with either your Gen 3 games or home. They're isolated. You don't get any Jirachis, you cannot move any of your mons over. Pretty unfortunate actually. Because that means that when... Like, if this is the only way they're gonna re-release those games, that means that when Pokemon Bank goes down, the ribbons from Pokemon XD and Colosseum for purifying the mons will also be unavailable. Because there's a special ribbon you get on the Shadow mons you purify. It will be gone. Reduced to ashes. Okay, buy the Transients and the Mora. Or like, ways to get it will be gone. Mons with the ribbon can still exist. I mean, an issue with selling or buying mons like this is how easy it is to hack Pokemon. Or even, like, you don't even need third-party software or hacks. In Gen 3, even in the re-releases that we just got, like Leaf Green and Fire Red on the Switch, you can do arbitrary code execution to create or modify Pokemon you have. Not sure if you can attach any ribbon you want. Probably it's possible. Not sure if anybody figured out how to do it, but it's probably possible. So, yeah. There are also ways to clone Pokemon. So buying anything like this would be pretty foolish. You don't know if it's cloned or hacked or like arbitrarily executed. Although when I was a kid, I'd actually pay for some event mons. I paid like $10 for a guy to trade over like a bunch of the mons that were only available in events. They were definitely cloned at the very least. But hey, they allowed me to see all the events in Soul Silver. I had the Arceus to get the Giratina egg, or the Celebi to see the silver cutscene thingy. The shiny Pichu to get a spiky-eared Pichu. So honestly, I could have probably gotten them for free if I asked around, but it wasn't the worst deal ever. Hello, little Monix. Oh, I cannot go inside, unfortunate. I thought I'd go inside and ride the box. I guess I'm still riding the box. The box left me. Oh, because it goes inside of here. Yeah, it's only 2 days, but actually, I won't be pulling Lina day 1. I'll need to wait for her a week and a half more. And that's because I don't want to pull for her until I can get this Chichi constellation. Because like I always say, when you get a character from this, to temper the self and journey far, you only get the Stella Fortuna. Another explanation, chance, yes. You only get the Stella Fortuna. And you don't get the full rewards you would have gotten for getting the character. Which include always some Stardust. Or Star Glitter? It's Star Glitter, right? The big ones. So, normally if you pull a 5-star constellation, you get 5-star Glitter and the Stella Fortuna. If you pull a C7 copy, so if I pull like a Mona, I get the Mona Stella. You no longer get a Stella Fortuna, you get the nameless one now, but you also get 25 Star Glitter, so you get 5 pulls, right? As a constellation for pulling a con for a character you have already maxed out, you get 5 pulls. But here, you do not get any pulls, you only get the Stella Fortuna. So in this case, this will be the Masterless Stella Fortuna. So if I pick a Chichi right now, I get the Stella Fortuna and that's it. And then when I pull her later, the next Chichi I pull will be a Masterless Stella Fortuna plus 5 pulls, right? But if we do it the other way around, if I first pull a Chichi, I will get her C6 and 1 pull, and then I will pick her here eventually, because I will run out of options, I will eventually pick the Chichi. I just get the Stella Fortuna and nothing else. And you know what's the difference between those two scenarios? In the first one, where I pick Chichi first on the selector, I get 5 pulls later. In the second one, where I first pull for Chichi and then pick her here, I only get 1 pull. So I get 4 extra pulls if I can pick this Chichi before I hit C6 on her. And this is also true for Diluc. With catching Jin and Mona, I already got C6, like it's too late. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Fortinari I managed to pick him before we got C6. And Dicha is like super early, so we don't have to worry about her. Diluc is like the next one I'll be picking up. So, I don't want to pull, or like I want to pull as little as I can, or ideally not at all, until I can pick the C6 Chichi. Because I do not want to risk getting to C6 on a standard character. Before I can pick their constellation. But if I get Dicha, that's perfectly fine. She's only C1. I would need to get her 4 times in a row, 5 times in a row, for this to be a dangerous situation. Diluc is more likely, where if I get another Diluc, then it's kind of like, ooh, we need to be careful now again. Hopefully I don't, and we can chill for a while. I'm trying to play through every Pokemon game you have and keep track of what you use so you won't use dupes. Whenever I play a game, I do always try to use some new mons that I haven't used before. In my current playthrough, or like, there is actually 2 ways. Sometimes I try to pick mons I haven't used before, like I'm using a Giraffe rig right now, but sometimes I like using mons that I have used as a child. So that example would be a Noctowl I got. Because that was my first full odds shiny when I was a little kiddo, so I manipulated myself a shiny Noctowl here as well to relieve memories from 20 years ago. So yeah, either I pick mons that were my aces 20 years ago or mons that I haven't used before. That's usually what I try to go for. So, all of this explanation about the Stella Fortunas was to say that I will not be pulling Lina until I can get this Chichicon, so that I don't risk getting Chichi on the Lina banner. And I only need to wait like a week and 3 days, so that's not that big of a deal. Usually begin using Ninetales, Aerodactyl, Lapras, Porygon, Mach, and Dragonite. Oh, you even ditch your starter? Or actually no, that's 5 months. No, that is 6 months. You ditch your starter. I wouldn't ditch my starter. I had... I also had a Ninetales and an Aerodactyl. Actually. But then I had... my Venusaur, of course. Eradicate. Actually legit member of my team, not just an Asian slave. Who's my water type? A Sidra, yes. Sidra and a Golbat. That was my team. The idea was that after I beat the Elite Four and got the National Dex, I would let the Sidra and the Golbat evolve into the Johto evolutions, Kingdra and Crobat, but I actually haven't gotten there. I mean, I got to National Dex, I did beat Elite Four. Quite a fun fight, because I was over 10 levels down on all my mons when fighting Blue. So some insane Leech Seed cheese with Venusaur was required, but we got there. Or like Sleep Powder plus Leech Seed. And some insane misplays from the AI to allow me to sleep their Charizard, who could one-shot every one of my mons. But that was fun, that was fun. But yeah, after I got the National Dex, I pretty much just went straight to Soul Silver. We're picking up a Wooper as we speak. And yeah, for Soul Silver, I actually have my Quilava. I don't want to let it evolve, because I want to transfer it to Legends Arceus and get a Hisuian Typhlosion. So I just still have a Quilava even though he's already level 50. I have an Onix from the early trade in Violet City. I decided to keep him for the entire game. Although he's probably gonna be the one who gets kicked for the Shroomish now that I'm in the post game already. Then I have an Ampharos. Ampharos is actually a mon that I have already used before a bunch, but I just love Ampharos too much. And I did need something early game, because I wanted mostly to use shinies. But early on I didn't really have the tools required to get shinies. No roamers around, no Irwin calls, no Chatots, like nothing. The opportunities for RNG manips early game are very limited. So I waited until at least I got roamers for my RNG manips after the starter. Just get a shiny starter and then, yeah, I waited until I got to Burnt Tower until I got my shiny Noctowl. So that was then my next team member. Then I got the Girafarig in the Safari Zone. Also, I'm planning to evolve it into a Fairy Giraffe once I get it to Scarlet Violet. And then I'm actually using my Lugia. Normally I almost never use the box legendaries or like any legendaries at all. But after the effort I spent to RNG manip a shiny Lugia and then catch it in a Moon Ball, which was the worst part actually. Getting the Money Pride was easier than catching it in the Moon Ball when I only had like 10 of them. So I decided that I deserve it. Also, my entire team was so weak. They were all at like level 40. Without the Lugia, I would have stood no chance against Lance. Because every single mon except for the Lugia was one-shot by every single one of their mons. Of Lance's mons. I mean, the Gyarados and the Aerodactyl were easy, because Gyarados folded to Ampharos, and the Aerodactyl could actually be almost 1v1'd by Onyx. Aerodactyl usually won out, but then was like very weak, I could finish him off. And then Lugia needed to take down everybody else. Oh, just a Medaka. Unfortunate. I never caught this fish. Not yet discovered, what do you mean?
それ
You're going to the viewer to get Johto mons. Yeah, I usually like getting mons from that gen as well. I'm already thinking about my White 2 playthrough.
勝利は目の前だぞ
I will get an Oshawott
自慢しようぜ
and also keep it at a unevolved as Duot. To then get Hisuian Samurott. So the same thing I'm doing here in Soul Silver. For the others, I'm probably gonna go with a Mincino and Zebstrika. And the Sigilif as well would be a cool mon. But we'll see, because sometimes I'll have plans for my playthrough, and then when I actually play, it will be different. I never planned to use an Onyx from an in-game trade all the way to Elite 4, but I did, and I liked it. Yeah, I know about that Minchino actually. I hope it can be shiny manipped, because I actually haven't read up about this yet. I want to change time, because I want to get the fish. One thing that kinda sucks about Gen 5 though, compared to Soul Silver... Ah, there is the fish. Is that... Wait, they are all shiny locked? Oh shoot, I guess I could breed it. We could do some egg RNG.
Yo.
Depends on when the... Oh, wrong bait. When you get the baker as well. Extra post game in black and white too? My god.
よしもうよく頑張ったな
I could just catch one with Technician. That's like almost as good. I could also trade it over. I could catch the Minchino, trade over to white 1, breed it there and trade myself the egg back. Or just the hatched mon. Probably hatched mon, cause to make sure it's shiny properly. Nah, but then my white 1 is English, but my white 2 is Japanese. It doesn't, like, there is no issue with the process, it's just... I'd probably rather have all my mons be Japanese in my team, and not one randomly be English. Just personal preference. How are exposed game? They weren't in Black-White 1, no? It's been a while since I played though. I do remember running back and forth. I definitely did some breeding in Black and White, or like in White. That's the one I played. But yeah, even though... So one of the things that people, including me, didn't like about Black and White 1 is that the only mons you could see were Gen 5 mons, and there was like a bunch of the reprints of Kanto mons and just like previous Gen mons. That was one of the biggest issues people had with the game, and then Black and White 2 added a bunch of other monsters to the decks, so it's not just all the new ones. And despite that, I'm actually probably only gonna use Gen 5 mons in my playthrough anyways, in my White 2 playthrough. Because I only ever did one playthrough of White. So there are a ton of mons that I never get to use from Gen 5. This guy just walked underneath me for no good reason. Oh yeah, I was also saying how one thing that I really like about Soul Silver is all the Pokeballs I have access to. Because one thing that I care about, just as much if not more than shininess, is what ball the mon is in. And in Gen 5 I will only have access from the cool balls. I will only have luxury and premier balls, and then all the basic ones. In Soul Silver I get access to all the Apri balls. What got me so into Pokemon? I've always been a Pokemon fan. I was playing Pokemon since before I could read. But for this Pokemon phase, so like I will have Pokemon phases where just for a couple of weeks, a couple months maybe, I will just be super into Pokemon, and then it will eventually phase out. I will care more about other stuff, and then I will be back into Pokemon again. So this Pokemon phase was triggered by the Leaf Green release on Switch 2. Because Leaf Green was the game that I played the most as a child. I must have had like 300 or 400 hours in the game. It was my first game that I actually like properly played. Because the Gen 2 games, Gen 1 and Gen 2 games, I couldn't really... I was too young to properly play them. I would just run around aimlessly most of the time. And Gen 3 was where I was actually, you know... I knew what I was doing for the most part. in Leaf Green. So that was my first Pokemon game that I really got into. So being able to replay it on the Switch, that was great. And yeah, the old Pokemon games, actually pretty amazing. Better in a lot of ways than even the newer ones. So now I'm replaying the other older games that I have. Gen 2, it was hilarious how buggy the balls were in Gen 2. Yeah, the fastball is probably my favorite. Where the fastball in Gen 4 just has a higher catch rate for mons with high base speed, 100 plus. That's pretty simple. But in Gen 2 it was supposed to give you a higher catch rate for mons who could flee in combat, because some mons just had like a 5% chance to flee in Gen 2. Like a Tangela or something could run away from you. But then they kinda did this not properly, and it only gives you an increased catch rate against 2 or 3 mons. So no, you cannot catch the super fast Raikou that runs away. You don't get a catch boost for a Raikou, but you get a catch boost versus a Tangela. And like 2 other mons, and that's it. The Moonball gave you a boosted catch rate for Pokemon that evolved via Burn Heal. Oh. And you don't even get anything... Like, you don't even get the vanity aspect of getting a mon in a cool ball. Because sometimes I will not care about the effect of the ball. The Moonball did not make the Lugia easier to catch, but it looks cool. But in Gen 2 you couldn't see what the mons were caught in. So that's especially... pointless. I'll give an 8 times catch rate for Pokemon of both the same species and gender as your current active Pokemon. It does make some sense with the species. Like a Pokemon would be more in love. If at least, like, if it worked with the same egg group, it would actually make sense. And wouldn't be, like, giga useless. For the same species, this is kinda useless, because you need to have already caught them on. Kind of like a repeat ball. But you need to actually have them on in your party, and they need to have the same gender. You could play Gen 2 games on the 3DS, because they re-released them as virtual console titles, and they even had Pokemon Bank connectivity. I unfortunately missed out on them. I didn't buy them when they were available, and you can't buy them legally anymore. I could sideload them, but I'm probably not gonna bother, to be honest. It's just so much better to play Soul Silver than play Crystal. The old games have their charm, but yeah, I'm not gonna go out of my way to play them when the remakes are available. Fire Red Leaf Green and Heart Gold Soul Silver are just such amazing remakes that there isn't much point in going back to the OGs, I would say. Tangela, Magnemite and Grimer, yeah, that's all the mons that the fastball gave you an increased catch rate for. The fact that it barely works is even funnier than the Moonball that didn't work at all, I would say. Because I did also look this up recently, so that's why I knew about the fastball, because I wanted to know what the condition exactly is for the fastball to see whether it would help me catch Suicune. And unfortunately the answer is no. It will help versus Entei and Raikou. Because I want to catch all the Doggos, all the legendary beasts in fastballs. Just a full set of 3, all in fastballs. But versus Suicune it will be like throwing Pokeballs at it, so this will be a repeat of the Lugia experience. I need to make sure the Suicune is on a low advance, so it won't be too annoying to manip for it, because I will need to do it multiple times. I will not get it first try. Like when I get the manip, this won't be the catch, because it will not go into a ball that easily. Level ball ignored HP and status and only factored in level, which made it terrible. Even the basic, I'm not sure about like Gen 2, but in Gen 1 the balls were whack as well. Sometimes using an Ultra Ball could be worse than a regular Pokeball, because they looked at the HP threshold differently. Like some balls would only get better up to 50% missing HP on the Mon, and some would get better all the way to like 25% missing HP. And throwing an Ultra Ball on a full HP Mon has a lower catch rate than like a regular Pokeball or a Great Ball. Heavy Ball worked as intended, aside from the fact the target's Pokemon number, the Dex number, was divisible by 64, they got the max bonus. How does this even happen? I mean, that was in Gen 1. You said you didn't play Gen 1, so it's fine later on, right? Ideally, you should weaken the Mon. But the balls work as you would expect them to, for the most part, in the new versions. If the Mon is low HP, or is like asleep or paralyzed statuses, it will be more likely to catch. That works. In Gen 1 it didn't. But in Gen 1 nothing worked.
ここだよ風だはっふっはあはっ
It was actually impressive how broken the Gen 1 games were. Barely anything worked as intended. There were some moves that wouldn't do anything. Focus Energy is a move that increases your crit chance, but in Gen 1 it made you less likely to crit. I don't remember exactly what was the mechanic behind this, but using Focus Energy made it less likely to land a crit, if not impossible to. Also, any move, even 100% accurate, could miss randomly. There was like, I think it's 1 in 256 chance for any move to miss, because the way accuracy checks were performed. So the way accuracy checks were performed, you would have a random number generated, and it would be compared against the accuracy of your move to check whether it should hit or not. So if you, let's say the value was selected from 0 to 255, and you have a 50% accurate move, so the game would check whether the number would be bigger or higher, lower or higher than 128 or 127. And if it was like higher, you would hit, and if it was lower, you would miss. I'm not sure if that was exactly how it worked, but more or less, right? That's the idea. So a 100% accurate move would have like a hit chance of 255. So no matter which number you chose, it could never be higher than 255 because the range is between 0 and 255. But the way the check worked is the number that was randomized had to be higher than your accuracy. So if it landed on 255, it would check against 255. They are the same. That's a miss. And every move could have at most 255 accuracy. So every move could miss. It also applied to Pokeballs and items. The item would miss. I don't think I've ever seen a potion miss. Or that does not work for the healing ones, only for balls. I don't think I ever saw a ball miss either. I have definitely experienced Gen 1 misses when playing through Yellow on... Because I didn't buy the Gen 2 re-releases on Virtual Console, but I did buy Gen 1. So I did play through Yellow, and I did experience some Gen 1 misses. But I don't think I ever experienced a Pokeball miss. Or a Potion miss. Or a Master Ball miss. Can you really? I don't think you can miss a Master Ball. I'm pretty sure I even watched a video recently about all the ways a Master Ball could fail to catch a Mon. If a Gen 1 miss could affect a Master Ball, I think it would have been in that video. But it wasn't. I'm pretty sure that's not true of the items. Because I've never heard of it before. And I feel like it's the kind of thing I would have heard of before. I mean, yeah, that's Pokemon in general. Like, yeah, I just lost my Battle Factory streak by missing 3 cross chops in a row on a Cloyster. Like, yeah, cross chop is not accurate, it's like 80%. Wait, how much accuracy does cross chop have? It's either 80 or 70, or maybe 75. I think it's 80. Yeah, it's 80. So I missed 3 cross chops in a row. And lost a Battle Factory streak of 20. And yeah, it happens. It just happens. But sometimes your enemies will miss. Or sometimes you will catch a shiny Lugia the first try you throw a Moonball at it in that attempt. While it's even burned and not asleep, because you burnt it by accident with a lava plume. And that's what creates memorable moments that keep us coming back. Let's do some Genshin though. Whoa. Genshin version 3.3. Favorite glitch in Gen 1. Many more voice lines for both Genshin Impact and Star Rail up to the newest versions. Oh, this will be huge for Star Rail, because Star Rail had very few ones. It kept using the same ones for Star Rail. Voice actors now display their name in English plus native version. Wait, didn't it already? Oh, they mean like how it's written. So it will use kanji and stuff. You can now change the codex to a different language. That's actually huge. That's actually huge for me. I can now see the Japanese quotes, it will be so much easier. Updated English voice actors, some were changed. Update some UI elements. It's not more data now, please report any bugs. Huge! Lovely. Man, maybe I should support them. So wait, settings? Where are settings? Here. Yeah, voice and language Japanese. So now I should see what they say in Japanese. I wonder if it will be written in... We'll see in a sec. So, yeah. It will be much harder to keep my streaks now that new characters are added. And new voice lines and stuff. Way above 3.3, my go-to is Mavuika. Oh, that's Citlali. And now quote? Yep. Huh, wait, is this like Ne-san? No, this is not Ne. What is this? Something San. Motto. Curio. Something Nde. Kurenai kana? Kaitai mono ga yama hodo aru. There are a lot of things I would want to buy. Wait, what is this kanji? Will we now... Oops. We'll now be learning Japanese. Oh yeah, it is Ne-san. I was actually right. It's an other form of the kanji. And this is Curio? Yeah. So, pay me more. There are a lot of things I want to buy. Oh, is this kanji? Hazumu. Hazunde. Motto Curio hazunde kurenai kana? Kaitai mono ga yama hodo aru. So somebody's getting paid by somebody they call older sis. And they have the audacity to ask for higher pay. Who even is employed in Genshin? There aren't that many characters. Like Chevrus? No. Somebody could be asking Chevrus for higher pay. Gami? No. Inagaki Konami. So that's a girl. There's a girl talking to another girl, asking for higher pay. Some recent character? Oh! Yahoda? Nice, we got there! We got there!
姉さん、もっと給料を弾んでくれないかな。買いたいものが山ほどある。
See, it is easier. If a Pokemon in Gen 1 needs a Leaf Stone to evolve, and you number 1 lead the battle with a side deck, and number 2 finish the battle with the target Pokemon leveling up, some Pokemon will evolve after the battle. Those are placed to Water Stone using Onyx, Thunderstone using Rollight, and Moonstone using Executor. As a Stone and lead combo respectively. What? Crazy. Yeah, Gen 1 was wild. Okay. I have absolutely no idea what this is. Looks watery. Maybe it's like Columbina. We gotta go recent characters, cause they just added all the new ones, right? So that's why Yahoda was on the quote. This is some water splash. Maybe it's Aino. What is this? Like a wave. Maybe this is Ayaka's sprint. Oh, that's Mona's sprint. I was close. I was getting there. Toma. Easy. Okay, at least there we got a one shot. Like a playground myth level of a bug, yeah. Shuei? No. Even after the upgrade, even after the update, still garbage game, no Shuei. Below 1.6? It cannot be Jingyuan, don't go Jingyuan. Yeah, reload above 1.0. That's few characters actually. Cannot be Lynx. Probably Luca. I think it has to be Luca. Yeah. Okay, another Sorosoro Ikua. Tsugini autoki wa otagai motto kachiboshi ga fueteru to ii wa ne? I'm pretty sure I have heard this before. What is this? Stars of Victory? Oh, just a win. Kachiboshi. Because this means star. And that's a mark indicating a win. So hopefully we'll like win more. Is this like Jade? No. Topaz? No. It is a girl. I don't know which girl though from the voice actresses. Black Swan? I mean, I already knew it's a girl because of the wa here, so that's like the nice thing about Japanese. There are like these particles that only a girl would use. It's gonna be a character like this with the wa, especially. It's like an ara type thingy. Maybe it's like Dahlia. No, okay, who are
そ
you?
ろそろ行くわ。次に会うときはお互いもっと勝ち星が増えてるといいわね。
That's Wait, is this Serval?
そろそろ行くわ。
No, it's not. Wait, who is this? Oh shoot, I don't have a perfect streak though, so it's not as bad if I miss it.
そろそろ行くわ。そろそろ行くわ。次に会うときはお互いもっと勝ち星が増えてるといいわね。そろそろ行くわ。次に会うときはお互いもっと勝ち星が増えてるといいわね。
It's not Fei Xiao.
そろそろ行くわ。
Or is it? No, it's not. No, it's definitely not Serval. It was Fei Xiao! Oh my god, that was like my second choice. Whatever. What is this? Anaxa, maybe. No. Aglaya? I have absolutely no idea what this is, man. Danheng PT. Samsara. Locked. Wait, is this Shuei? What is this? So, it could be Hanya. It could be Finon? No, I'm pretty sure this is not Finon Sword. Although I'm not 100% sure, I don't actually own Finon. I'm not really familiar with his ability icons. This might be Hanya. Because she has brush icons everywhere, but I don't think her ult is one. I think I'm just gonna go Hanya because Samsara, she has stuff like this in her kit. Okay, nice. Phew. Serval Redemption? No, that's Kafka. Emoji still easy. I mean, emoji can sometimes be very hard. Oh? Ooh. Wait, which physical... Oh, Corin. Which physical character uses this boss? That's Corin. She uses this boss. Man, I should have just clicked. Why did I click Serval? I knew it was not Serval. Because Serval's voice like this in Japanese is like some singer. I should have just typed Fei Xiao. Okay. So, I guess we'll end things a bit earlier. I'll go back to EV training my Shroomish. Want to get it done today. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. This will be the end of the stream for today. I do have a stream every single day at 8 p.m. CEST, which is 2.5 hours before now. On Wednesday there will be an even earlier stream at 5 p.m., which is even 3 hours earlier, where we will be playing the new Genshin patch. Tomorrow we'll be playing some Star Rail though, some Divergent Universe, maybe the event. So yeah, let me find somebody to raid. Somebody who streams in English and streams Genshin Impact, hopefully. Okay. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye!